Hello, Paradigm
Aloha.
Shifters.
Aloha.
Woo!
Mhm.
Coming to you from sunny Texas. Not. Well,
I
hi,
like.
this is, welcome to Paradigm Shifters for February 16th, 2021. A historic week, right? Weather
Yeah.
wise for all over the country. And currently in Austin, it is 17 and it's what, 18 up in Detroit, Charles?
18 in Detroit. Yeah. It's
Yes.
always warmer in the South.
Yeah. Not. And I'm so grateful that now we are a global community of people dedicated to uplift each other and shift, just keeping shifting. So what a shift this has been for us. Right now we are at 726 people in our group. Isn't that cool?
Oh,
From 20 over
wonderful.
20 countries, and we've come together in this warmth and love. So I'm so, so grateful to be sitting. Little update from Leander, Texas. We have power in where I am,
Okay.
and water,
Okay.
and and great, as long as we stay into grateful. And I'm so grateful that in my office we have Hawaii,
Ah, yes.
Hawaiian state of mind,
Uh,
and can laugh. And,
Right.
and laugh even in the middle of crisis. So we're welcoming Charles Thomas, our friend today. And Charles has come on before and talked about his forgiveness ministry with Detroit Unity Temple. So welcome, Charles. And what words of wisdom can you help us with today as we're navigating yet another situation?
Oh, when you said that, the words that popped into my mind were release and let go.
Oh,
I've had to do that since Friday, and only partially because of the weather. But that was in it too. There were just unexpected things that came up, and in hindsight, I can be very grateful that they showed me things that I needed to adjust in myself. So this idea of taking responsibility in lieu of assigning blame, whether it's to myself or somebody else, that if I'm responsible, then I can change it. And that's a powerful thought. And that's at the core of forgiveness. If I'm responsible, I can be part of the change.
I love that. If I'm responsible, I can be part of the change. So if I was to just right now, it seems like where I'm at physically and in
Mm-hmm.
Texas,
Mm-hmm.
it started to ice on Thursday. So there's ups and downs during this period.
Yeah.
And for me, when the sun's out, I'm cool. I was
Okay.
like,
Okay.
when the clouds are there, I'm not. And so how could you use that if I am responsible? How can we use that here? I've heard a lot of blaming, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
anger right now, um,
Mm-hmm.
fear.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about all those feelings? How tell me more about what you would say to people who are feeling a certain way, including me.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's take that statement that you just made about when the sun's out, you feel happy, world's all right. just because the sun is out, so that you have something that you can give thanks for. But if you're responsible, truly responsible, then it really doesn't matter if the sun is out or not, because you can be thankful anyway. You can choose to be thankful. That's a different level or perspective on gratitude and gratefulness, that they can be causal. We've been raised implicitly to think that when we're given something that we love, oh, thank you. And if we don't get that, well, those inconsiderate lady, blah 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 blah. And the rest of the world agrees with that. But when we're looking to shift paradigms, because that's a paradigm, we're looking to shift paradigms, the power is in our ability to take responsibility for our thoughts, for our feelings. And I don't say that lightly as a human being, because that can turn, if we don't hold it correctly, that can turn into um, self um, self sabotage, self punishment, the feeling of unworthiness. That's blame. That's not responsibility. That's the, in one respect, the easy way out. It takes a little bit more to assume responsibility. Um, so I go outside, the sun's out, everything's nice, I'm feeling warm, but I have something to do outside. Let's say for me here, it's shovel snow. That's what I'm going to be doing after our call is over, to go out and shovel our walkway, which isn't one of my very favorite things. But usually there's something I can put my mind on. Um, it's a mantra, or just being grateful to be strong enough, healthy enough to shovel the snow, alive enough to have seen another winter. I mean, we are meaning making machines, so we can make the meaning what we will.
Ah, making the meaning what we will. So, what happens if we or I get caught up in the resentment, the anger, the fear, the blame, and there's
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
within that I just cannot let go of? What
Yeah.
happens to your body? What happens to what happens?
Yeah. Well, yeah. uh, Definitely, there's a um, physiological change. Physiology changes. The brain will produce, um, I guess it's cortisol, one of the hormones that comes about when you're stressed. And really, its purpose is to give you that shot to be able to change or do what you need to do to relieve that stress. But we in this modern age are in the kinds of stresses that weren't even around at the time that that physiological response was bred into humanity. That it was to outrun the predator, to hide, um, fight or flight, fight or flight. Um, Usually we aren't faced with life and death decisions like that every day. Not to say that we aren't at times, but when we notice what we're noticing, we're taking responsibility. Then the question is, what can I do now,
Mm-hmm.
right here, with whatever's around me, that will make the difference that I'm seeking?
So,
And if there's, mm-hmm,
so with your forgiveness ministry,
mm-hmm,
right? And I know there's been so much going on since we last talked.
yes,
Where would you take people right now during this last week?
mm-hmm,
What would you suggest, or what kind of meditation would you lead us through? Or what's the first thing is to actually, I'm thinking like acknowledge where you're at, and then would you take us
mm-hmm.
through a little process that you might lead us through?
Okay. I'll 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 do something right here on the spot that I've done these things either or. I've never done both of them together before. So we're experimenting now. And that's part of taking responsibility that I can choose to do this. I take responsibility for whether it works or it doesn't work,
It'll work.
you know. But that's the state of mind that you have to be in. You know, to be full disclosure, my desire is that everybody that hears this conversation will be blessed by it, that they will be able to get something, even if it's just a small kernel, one thing that's said, one feeling or idea that comes into their mind that they may never repeat out loud again, that makes the difference in the shift of the paradigm that they need freedom from. I will take responsibility for that. I'm not asking them to blame me if it goes wrong. But if they do, it's okay with me. That's on them.
Ah,
If I don't blame myself. So it's that. It's I'm responsible for me and I allow you to be responsible for you.
ooh, that's so
And
key, isn't it?
yes,
I'm responsible for me, and it's okay for you to be responsible for you.
right.
And I find that working with parents,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes parenting people who are parenting their parents, there's
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
over responsibility that if things mess up, I haven't done a good enough job.
Right.
Or and what I'm finding is that getting stuck in that, there's that such lack of self care and that lack of time out to
Mm-hmm.
tune in. And that what if this is what it looks like as it's all working out? You know, that
Yes.
one little nugget in that hitting or
Yeah.
pressing that internal pause button and breathing and like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what if I can see something to be creative about during this? The other day I was sitting in here, and this is like on this side of the window was my
Mm-hmm.
green plants. Right outside that window was ice and snow.
Right.
And that invisible boundary of that glass. And what if the
Yes.
growth was on the other side in the ice?
Yeah.
So when I got to that level, it took me a while to get there. I decided to go outside and feel what it felt like to be outside and get adjusted to that
Yeah.
temperature. Took me about 2 seconds and I was back in.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Okay, I've done that, been there, done that. And then like that and questioning like, oh, well, what
Mm-hmm.
can I do from where I am? So
Mm-hmm.
what you said maybe you would lead yeah, go. I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead and let's do an experiment with
Okay.
what
We'll
you were
do an
doing.
experiment.
Yeah, I'm up for it, man. What else is
Okay.
there to do?
Yeah. Well, there are two things that came to mind. One is the Hoponopono Prayer. The other is the kindness meditation that we did the last time I was here. So um, let me just talk about the two a little bit. We'll talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go through it. And let let's do this. That we just like you notice the difference on one side of the window pane versus the other. We're going to talk about it, which is on this side of the window pane. And then we're going to experience it, which is on the other side of the window pane. The window pane being that separates us from our true self and our whole self. The marriage of the spiritual being and the human being. We look at those as separate. So the paradigm is the window pane. That's what we want to remove through the experience. So just a brief history of the Hoponopono prayer. And I'm no expert at it. It just works for me the way I do it. There are four things that are key to it. And this just cuts across the surface. Some people only teach this and it works for people. And this is great for you because its origin is from Hawaiian culture. It's part of the Huna tradition. So the four words are, um, and it can be done said in any order. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I'm not going to say a whole lot about that, except that, when we were talking about responsibility earlier, this is a prayer that's based on taking responsibility for oneself and what other people are feeling, because we are ultimately one. I just take responsibility for it, not the blame. My consciousness, at some level, part of the human consciousness, contributes to what all of us are feeling.
Mm.
We've kind of experienced that, and maybe not knowing it, as the global aspect of the coronavirus impacted us last year. That I'll confess to this myself, that usually these kinds of things happen over there. It's in another country, another city. I mean, even this cold weather. I mean, I don't remember a time that you and I could have a common experience in sub-freezing weather.
Detroit, Texas.
Not since we've known each other. We've known each other, right? Okay, so there is this commonality, this connection that we don't often see, and if we don't see it, we take it for granted. We have a lack of compassion, or a level of compassion that isn't available until something like this happens, where I can feel your discomfort and you can feel mine because we have a similar circumstance now.
Well, can I be transparent with you about something?
Sure, sure.
So I was on a coaching call, just yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
all this other stuff, and this are people from all over the place, right? From all over the
Mm-hmm.
country. And I mentioned the fact that it was so cold in here and all that, and there was some laughter, and
Mm-hmm.
I got resentful at the laughter, and it was like, well, you down there in Texas, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And there was like this moment of resentment, and I did not, but I wanted to get so angry and say, wait a minute, when you were having the fires, we were like that. And then
Yeah,
I stopped myself in knowing that, whoa, there's a resentment seed that's growing in me.
right.
And how
Wow.
many times have I been there
Yep,
and not stopped myself
yep,
and said these words, even if they were sarcastic?
yes.
So this is perfect. Keep going, like taking responsibility for my own stuff.
Yeah,
So go ahead, Charles. This is
yes,
good. Yeah.
yes. So when you say I'm sorry, you're sorry for those kinds of thoughts and feelings, that jump to anger. I used to be very angry if somebody cut me off in traffic. I mean, like up there in the 80th, 90th percentile of road rage. And I can't tell you when I got out of that. Maybe when I moved to Detroit, Detroiters laugh. I say that people in Washington D.C. drive much more aggressively than they do. It seemed like they were insulted by that, but uh, but that's the kind of natural reaction. Um, so you ask for forgiveness. This is just the order that I do it. You can do it in any order you like, and sometimes I change it up. Then I ask for forgiveness, and this is where you have some freedom. If you are religious or spiritual, you might be asking forgiveness from a higher power, from God, from Jesus, um, Buddha, you know, whatever energy or deity that would have the power to forgive, whatever love is represented by for you. So please forgive me. Or you could be speaking to the other person. They don't have to be present, by the way. They don't even have to be in the body. They could have transitioned to a higher plane of existence. So you could be speaking to them. I do it both ways. Usually it's always God, sometimes with the person. Sometimes I can't do it authentically with the person if I'm really upset, but I can always ask God for forgiveness. You notice I'm not saying I'm forgiving them, at least at this stage. I'm asking for forgiveness. And then, after a pause, then you say, thank you. I love you. And you're addressing that to their soul, to that part of them that transcends all of their flaws and shortcomings. You're talking to their innocence because you want to get in touch with your innocence. So that's the quick and easy way of doing it. It has a rich history. Dr. Hu Lin, if you do a search on the internet, even in YouTube, you can find him there who talks about this in greater depth. I'll send you a link after this. So I'm going to use that, and then the kindness meditation that you and I have done many times before, and that's a few things. I've modified this a bit. So the way we'll do it today is to start out. May I be truly happy, and we'll have a little silence there where you may embellish and be truly happy, happy at the core of my soul. May I live in peace. It could be the peace that passes all human understanding. May I live in love, the love that transcends all things. May I know the power of forgiveness, that power that can make wrong things right, power that can release hatred and violence. May I be free. Implicitly, the act of forgiving frees me from uh, an energy, a belief, the idea that another person could keep me in the bondage of hatred or revenge. May I live in the recognition and then realization that my life has deep meaning and good purpose. So those are the two prayers we want to combine today. So we can want to go through it now?
Yes, yes, yes. And then
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
close it out. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to start with the kindness prayer. We're going to go through it uh, 3 times. And, just follow along silently um, to yourself. When I say, may you be truly happy, think about someone in your life. You can think about those that you want to forgive and think about those that you love. Don't try to separate them. And I think the rest will make sense. Okay. If you want to close your eyes, take a deep breath. And one more. May I be truly happy. Happy at depth. Happy in my soul. May I live in peace, profound peace, the peace at the center of all. May I live in love, surrounded by love, bathed in love, immersed in love. May I know the power of forgiveness, the transformational power, the life changing power, the healing power, the comforting power, the prospering power of forgiveness. May I be free, free from the limitations of my childhood, my adolescence, my young adult experience, and free from the paradigms that limit me now. May I be free. Free to live the life I love, to pursue my dreams, to embody wholeness, health, truth, compassion, love. May I be free. May I live in the recognition and the realization that my life has deep meaning and good purpose. May you, as you say, you be free. Think of someone you love, someone you may not feel too good about right now, someone you'd like to forgive. May you be free. May you be happy, truly happy. May you live in peace, perfect peace. May you live in love, unconditional love. May you know the power of forgiveness. May you be free, free to be who and what you are created to be. May you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose. Thank you. May we, all of us together, everyone within the sound of this prayer and beyond, may we be truly happy. May we in this country, in all countries across the globe, be truly happy with each other. May we live in peace. May we live in love. May we know the power of forgiveness. May we be free. Recognition and the realization that we, all of us, live a life that has deep meaning and good purpose. And we give thanks in this unity of happiness, peace, love, forgiveness, freedom, and the truth of our being, that our lives are meaningful, essential, to a world that works for everyone. Now bring to mind something that may be really bothering you, a person, a circumstance. It could be for the COVID virus, circumstances of the weather, issues in the home and the family, with the school system, the social distancing, whatever it is. Apply the Hoponopono Prayer. Hoponopono in Hawaiian means to make, well, pono means perfect. Hoponopono is to make the perfect more perfect. So as you hold in mind this concern, this person, state to the universe, I'm sorry, acknowledging your complicity. Please forgive me. Feel the love of forgiveness. Ask and it is given. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now let's hold it for our respective countries. For us here, and for me, for Judy, the United States, or whatever country in which you live, especially if there's some concern or something that you recognize that needs or should be changed. Recognize your role in it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. May we be free, healed, and one. And so it is that makes it so. Amen.
Thank you so much, Charles. Just what,
Thank you. Thank you, Judy.
just what, um,
Yeah.
just what we needed, and I know that everyone listening to that, there's the shift and the change. So appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
and your dedication to your forgiveness work, and what a light, what a heat light is happening up there, right where I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Mm.
for what you do, Judy. You're such an inspiration to many of us, especially to me. We started out together, and look where you have come, and all
Have,
the people that you are uh, influencing so positively. Really
well,
appreciate you.
yeah, I'm gonna receive that, and yeah, I'm gonna wipe my tears here. It's anyway. Appreciate that, and